Greetings, Starseeds in Ascension. I am Kaya Nexus, Pleiadian emissary of the Council of the Five Sisters, and today I bring you a transmission of realignment. Your frequencies of abundance are awakening, and the universe asks that you listen with an open heart. What is reaching you is sacred and demands inner silence. Starseeds, if this transmission has reached you at this exact moment, it is no coincidence. The Pleiadians do not send messages by chance. They send when your frequency is finally ready to receive what no one else can understand. You felt it, didn't you? That tingling at the base of your spine that appears without apparent reason. That deep sensation that something much greater is approaching you, something that the world still cannot see or understand. That quiet certainty that lives in the depths of your chest, that whispers that you were chosen for something that transcends common human understanding. Well, today you discover exactly why. Because the Pleiadians, those beings of light who have observed humanity for millennia, who see beyond linear time, who understand the mysteries of the cosmos, are revealing a plan that involves specifically starseeds like you. This is not a plan for humanity in general. This is not a plan for the awakening collective. This is a plan that touches your soul in a deep and personal way, that rewrites your destiny, that activates your cosmic mission, that prepares you for the next stage of evolution you didn't even know was possible. And if you are here, listening to these words at this specific moment, it means you have already been activated in it. The Pleiadians do not reveal their plans to just anyone. They do not share their cosmic secrets with those who are not ready. They reveal only when a soul reaches the frequency necessary to participate actively, to be a living component, to be an instrument through which the plan manifests in reality. And that frequency, Starseed, is exactly yours. You have reached this point. You have crossed the threshold. You have become visible to the Pleiadians. But wait, because there is much more happening behind the scenes than you imagine. What the Pleiadians did while you slept, while you struggled against your fears, while you transformed through suffering and joy, is even deeper and more strategic than any human mind could conceive. Because before revealing their plan, the Pleiadians needed to make very specific changes within you, changes that began long before you were consciously aware that you were being prepared for something so great. Each plan of the Pleiadians begins long before the human mind perceives that something is happening. It does not begin with a dramatic sign in the sky. It does not begin with a clear and unequivocal message. It does not begin with an obvious synchronicity that you cannot ignore. It begins with a shift so subtle, so quiet in your frequency, that most starseeds never consciously perceive it. But you perceived it. Or rather, your soul, that part of you that exists beyond time and space, that part that is eternal and infinite, perceived it. There was a moment recently, perhaps days ago, perhaps weeks, perhaps months, when something within you aligned in a way that had never happened before in your entire existence. A moment when your energy stopped collapsing under the weight of your limitations and began to stabilize at a completely new frequency. A moment when your consciousness opened just enough for the Pleiadians to approach, to feel your presence, to recognize that you were ready. A moment where your destiny became compatible with active participation in a cosmic plan. This is the exact moment you entered the Pleiadian plan. This is the point of activation. This is the beginning of everything. Here are the real indicators, the signs you can recognize in your own life that the Pleiadians have already moved you into the first phase of their cosmic design. First, you felt an inexplicable internal pivot, something that was not a common thought, not a passing emotion, but a deep turning. As if something very deep within you changed your direction completely, as if you were on one path and suddenly your entire body turned to a completely new direction. This was not random or coincidence. It was your frequency locking onto a new trajectory, the one aligned with the Pleiadian plan, the one the Pleiadians recognized as your true path. Second, you experienced a dramatic increase in intuitive pressure. Your intuition did not whisper gently as before. It pushed with force, It insisted. It interrupted your rational thoughts. This happens only when your system is being repositioned for a greater purpose. Your inner guidance was redirected by the Pleiadian source to guide you to where you need to be. Third, you felt a presence stabilizing around you, not as something external that observes you, but as something that is positioning you, arranging the energetic space around you. As if something intelligent, something that understands the mysteries of the universe, began to arrange the space around your consciousness so that you could receive what is coming. This presence is not outside you. It is the resonance of the Pleiadian field interacting directly with your energy field. Fourth, your emotional cycles suddenly broke in ways you cannot explain rationally. Patterns you carried for years, perhaps for entire lifetimes, either opened completely or dissolved without leaving a trace. Not because you healed them through therapy or spiritual work, but because they became incompatible with the role the Pleiadians are preparing you to play. They removed what your destiny could no longer sustain. Fifth, the synchronicities in your life became directional, not decorative. They do not appear randomly to comfort you. They appear in strategic clusters guiding you, correcting you, pointing you to the next step you need to take. This is how the Pleiadians initiate the first phase of involvement with a starseed. Sixth, you felt a subtle but persistent pull towards something greater. A sense that something much larger is unfolding behind the scenes. A feeling that the timing of your life is changing. A quiet awareness that the universe is reorganizing itself around your next stage of evolution. This is not imagination. This is recruitment. Seventh, part of you began to wake up faster than your mind could process. You felt sharper perception, heightened sensitivity, deeper stillness, expanded intuition, emotional clarity, increased presence. Your consciousness acclimated to a higher operational range. This means one thing. You crossed the threshold where the Pleiadians could finally involve you in what they are doing. You did not stumble into their plan. You aligned with it. The Pleiadians never reveal their plan to a starseed who is not ready to participate actively. They do not withhold the plan as a jealously guarded secret. They withhold it as protection. Because until your field reaches a certain level of deep stability, crystalline clarity, energetic coherence, and genuine emotional maturity, you cannot maintain the frequency necessary to understand the next stage of evolution. This is why so much within you had to change first. Before the Pleiadians could pull you into their active plan, they needed to recalibrate very specific structures within you, structures you did not even know existed. Here is what they recalibrated long before you consciously realized you were being prepared for something so great. First, they refined your emotional threshold in ways you may have noticed but could not explain. You may have noticed less reactivity to events that previously disturbed you deeply. You may have noticed faster recovery from difficult emotional situations. You may have noticed a deeper stillness, a calm that came not from outside, but from within. You may have noticed sudden emotional clarity in situations that previously confused you. This was not healing in the traditional sense. This was energetic engineering. The Pleiadians strengthened your emotional body, that aspect of you that feels and processes, so that you could maintain the intensity of what they are about to reveal without collapsing. Second, they expanded your intuitive bandwidth in ways that completely changed how you navigate reality. Your intuition used to seem subtle, almost imperceptible, easy to ignore. Now it seems loud, insistent, undeniable. You cannot ignore it even if you wanted to. This was not a common spiritual awakening. It was a cosmic upgrade. The Pleiadians opened new intuitive channels within you so that you could receive guidance in multiple layers without confusion or contradiction. You are being trained to perceive reality in a completely different way. Third, they dissolved layers of identity that would have directly interfered with your cosmic role. You were not losing yourself or disappearing. You were shedding old versions of yourself, those versions that were not strong enough for the next stage. The doubts that paralyzed you, the fears that controlled you, the attachments that bound you, the self-limiting narratives you believed about yourself, they had to go. A new role requires a new identity. A starseed who participates in the Pleiadian plan cannot carry the limitations of her previous self. Fourth, they removed timelines that no longer corresponded to your potential. This is why certain relationships ended when you did not expect them to. This is why certain plans you made completely fell apart. This is why certain paths you were following suddenly felt wrong, toxic, incompatible with who you are becoming. You did not fail. You were redirected. The Pleiadians eliminated timelines that would have weakened your mission, that would have diverted you from your true path. Fifth, they restored the part of you that can hear subtle frequencies that most people never perceive. Those moments of deep inner stillness, that silent knowledge that comes from nowhere, that sudden calm that falls upon you, that expanded perception where you see beyond the obvious, those were not coincidences or random spiritual experiences. Your system was being tuned by the Pleiadians to resonate with their field. Sixth, they recalibrated your destiny receptors in ways that changed everything. This is the mechanism within your energy field that allows you to feel inevitability, alignment, timing, purpose, direction. They made your destiny receptors active so you could sense when something important is approaching. That feeling of something coming was not anxiety. It was calibration. Seventh, they increased your sensitivity to the presence of your future self. The version of you that already operates in higher consciousness, the version of you that already participates actively in the Pleiadian plan, is getting closer. You may have felt guidance emerging from within you. Sudden inner authority, clarity without logic, decisions made through knowing, not thinking. This is the future self-interface coming online. Eighth, they stabilized your frequency so you could receive higher instruction. This is why you feel grounded, yet expanded, calm yet aware, present yet connected, lighter yet deeper. The Pleiadians do not reveal their plan to an unstable field. You became stable enough to hold what is next. Nothing that shifted within you was random. Every change was preparation. The Pleiadians were not transforming you. They were positioning you. The Pleiadians do not move randomly through the universe. They do not act impulsively or without clear strategic purpose. They do not interfere in human reality without a very specific strategic reason. Every shift you felt in your life, every synchronicity you encountered, every moment of clarity that came from nowhere, every encounter that changed your perspective, all of it was part of something unfolding silently behind the scenes. Because while you were awakening to your true nature, updating your consciousness, releasing old patterns and realigning with your cosmic purpose, the Pleiadians were working silently, precisely, strategically. They were building the foundation for what is coming. Here is what has been happening in the background of your life, the hidden architecture the Pleiadians were building long before revealing their plan. First, they were observing your timeline for very specific stability points, not to judge or criticize you, but to locate the exact moment when your field became strong enough to carry their higher guidance. They needed to ensure that your frequency would not collapse under the weight of the higher instruction they are about to share. Your stability is what opened the door. Second, they were synchronizing events around you in ways you may have noticed but could not fully explain. Every perfect timing that seemed impossible. Every symbolic encounter that changed your life. Every moment of clarity that arrived exactly when you needed it most. All of it was part of something unfolding, silently behind the scenes. The Pleiadians were orchestrating your reality, adjusting the pieces of the cosmic board so that you would arrive at this exact point in time. The ebook, The Pleiadian Map of Personal Transmutation, a profound guide that reveals how to elevate your frequency, purify old patterns, and activate your true multidimensional identity. This map teaches you to traverse the 7 Pleiadian phases of energetic transmutation with practical techniques, realignment exercises, vibrational protocols, and consciousness expansion rituals that accelerate your spiritual evolution. But pay attention, limited edition. The link to acquire yours is in the first pinned comment. Third, they were adjusting the people around you in very strategic ways. Some were removed from your life because their frequency was not compatible with your growth. Some were brought closer because you needed them for the next stage. Some revealed their true nature, showing who they really were. Some returned unexpectedly because cosmic timing required it. This was not about relationships in the common human sense. It was about energetic resonance. Your role in the Pleiadian plan requires a specific circle of people, a specific frequency field, a specific environment. The Pleiadians were shaping your surroundings to correspond to the next stage of your evolution. Fourth, they were collapsing timelines that no longer corresponded to your cosmic potential. This is why your life felt like it was falling apart at certain moments. It was not collapse in the destructive sense. It was extraction, removing timelines that would have interfered with your participation in the Pleiadian plan. They did not abandon you. They redirected you to the path that was always yours. Fifth, they were activating memory layers that were dormant within you. Those moments of déjà vu you cannot explain. That deep recognition when you meet certain people or places. That inner knowledge that comes from nowhere. Those emotional echoes from past lives. Those were not random spiritual experiences. They were signals of memory being strategically released into your consciousness so you could recognize the frequency of what is coming. Memory is the compass for the phase you are entering. Sixth, they were strengthening the bridge between you and your future self in ways you may be beginning to feel. This bridge is absolutely essential for what comes next. Your future self, the version of you that already operates in higher consciousness, the version of you that already participates actively in the Pleiadian plan, is destined to become your guide, your compass, your stabilizer. The Pleiadians were amplifying your intuition, sharpening your perception, elevating your emotional intelligence, deepening your sense of inevitability. You are being connected to the version of you that already knows the way, that already understands the plan, that already lives the reality you are becoming. Seventh, they were calibrating your energy to support higher instruction in ways you may have felt but could not name. You felt this as sudden stillness that falls upon you without apparent reason. You felt this as expanded consciousness where you see beyond what your physical eyes can see. You felt this as emotional neutrality where you are not controlled by your emotions. You felt this as inner authority that comes from a deep place within you. You felt this as intuitive precision where you know things without knowing how you know. These were not random improvements or spiritual coincidences. They were necessary updates for the next stage of the Pleiadian plan. Eighth, they were preparing the global environment for what comes next. The timing of global events you see happening. The collective awakenings occurring across the planet. The changes in human consciousness that are accelerating. Everything is synchronizing because your role is not isolated or personal only. It is part of a larger movement, and your field needed to be aligned with the phase humanity is entering. Nothing in your life was accidental. Everything was preparation. The Pleiadians were not observing you passively from a distance. They were actively arranging your reality so that you could be in the place where you were always destined to be. The hidden work is complete. The Pleiadians would not reveal the plan until the foundation was perfectly ready. And now the foundation is ready. But there is a very specific reason why you were chosen among so many other starseeds. And that reason involves a frequency you carry that most people never reach in a single lifetime. The Pleiadians do not involve every awakened starseed in their active plan. Many are guided from a distance, many are supported through synchronicities, many are observed as they evolve, but only some are positioned. Only some reach the frequency where their energy becomes significant to a larger cosmic design. If you are listening to this transmission from the Pleiadian source, it is because you are one of them. You are one of the few. You are one of the chosen. Here is why you were chosen for this specific phase of the Pleiadian plan. First, your frequency crossed a threshold that most starseeds never reach in a single life. Not because you meditated more than others, not because you were better or more spiritual, not because you followed instructions perfectly. Your field stabilized in a way that created genuine coherence. And coherence is the key that the Pleiadians recognize and respond to. Most people never reach this level of stability. You reached it. You achieved it. You became coherent. Second, your emotional body can now support much higher vibrational pressure than before. Your old self, the one you were before you began to awaken, would have completely collapsed under the intensity of this phase, but you learned to regulate emotion in ways that most people never learn. You learned to release density quickly. You learned to remain clear during chaos. You learned to feel deeply without drowning in emotion. This emotional maturity is one of the rarest signs of readiness. Only stable hearts can hold higher plans. The Pleiadians know this deeply. Third, your intuition became strong enough to be a reliable guidance system. Not vague or symbolic or too subtle to follow. Direct, instant, precise. The Pleiadians cannot guide a starseed who cannot hear herself, who cannot trust her own inner guidance. Your intuition is no longer a whisper you can ignore. It is a navigation channel you follow naturally. This is why you qualify for this plan. Fourth, your identity loosened enough to evolve without resistance. You let go of old versions of yourself. You released outdated narratives you believed about who you were. You dropped inherited beliefs that did not belong to you. You left survival identities that kept you small. You left behind timelines that did not belong to you. This made you flexible enough to embody a higher role without resisting or questioning. Rigidity blocks destiny, but you softened, and that made you ready. Fifth, your past no longer controls your future in ways you may be beginning to recognize. You broke cycles that This is a rare achievement that signals readiness for cosmic involvement. Sixth, your perception expanded far beyond common human range. You now feel intention behind words. You feel energetic resonance of people and places. You feel emotional truth, even when someone tries to deceive you. You feel movement of timeline before it happens. You feel subtle presence of beings that others cannot perceive. You feel energetic changes in the environment. This expanded sensitivity is absolutely necessary to participate in higher plans. You cannot assist with what you cannot perceive, but you see more now. You feel more. You understand more. Seventh, you became responsive to guidance in ways that most people never can be. Some people resist signs. Some ignore their intuition completely. Some collapse in confusion when they receive guidance. You did not. You responded. You moved. You aligned. You followed resonance even when it made no logical sense. Responsiveness is one of the clearest markers of a starseed chosen for active involvement. Eighth, your future self is already active in your field. This is the deepest reason of all. Your higher self timeline. The version of you who participates in the Pleiadian plan has already begun merging with your current awareness. This is why you feel ahead of yourself, guided from within, pulled towards something larger, strangely prepared, emotionally stronger, intuitively clearer. Your future self is already influencing your present. Only those with an active future self bridge are brought into the plan. You were not chosen randomly. You became aligned. You became ready. You became visible. Your frequency signaled readiness. Your emotional body signaled stability. Your intuition signaled receptivity. Your timeline signaled compatibility. Your future self signaled activation. And the Pleiadians responded. They are involving you because you reached the moment your soul has been moving toward for lifetimes. Most starseeds imagine the Pleiadian plan as something external and dramatic, a global event that changes everything, a visible cosmic intervention, a revelation in the sky that everyone can see, a message for all of humanity. But the Pleiadian plan was never external. The Pleiadian plan has always been energetic, subtle, internal, transformational. Because to change a world, you do not change the external structures. You change the frequency of the beings who live within those structures. The Pleiadians do not work through force or coercion, they work through resonance. And the core of their plan is much deeper than any human mind could expect or imagine. Here is the truth the Pleiadians want you to understand. The Pleiadian plan is to elevate human consciousness by updating the individuals whose frequency can hold the next stage of evolution. Their plan does not begin with humanity in general. It begins with you. It begins with starseeds like you who reach the necessary frequency. Here is what the Pleiadian plan really involves in its deepest details. First, the Pleiadians are creating stable nodes of higher frequency across the planet. You are one of those nodes. These nodes act as anchors of stability, emitters of coherence, energetic regulators, amplifiers of consciousness. When a starseed becomes a node, she influences the energetic field around her simply by existing. You do not need to do anything special. Your presence changes the frequency of the space. This is why your inner world became stronger. You are being calibrated to maintain a frequency that affects others without effort. Second, the Pleiadians are rebuilding the human emotional system to support higher intelligence. Humans cannot rise in consciousness while drowning in unprocessed emotion and unhealed trauma. So the Pleiadians teach genuine emotional neutrality, clarity of perception, responsiveness instead of reactivity, true discernment, and intuitive self-regulation. Not to evolve you only for the sake of evolution, but to prepare your system to operate in much higher states of consciousness. Third, the Pleiadians are restoring intuitive communication pathways that were blocked in humans millennia ago. The future of human evolution is not technological. It is intuitive. The ability to feel truth, perceive resonance, feel energy, read timelines, connect through energetic fields is part of the plan. The Pleiadians reopen these pathways in those who are ready. Fourth, the Pleiadians are connecting humans with their future selves in ways that change everything. This is one of the deepest layers of the plan. Your future self, the version of you that already operates in higher consciousness, is destined to become your guide, your compass, your stabilizer. The Pleiadians are strengthening this bridge because it is absolutely essential for the next stage. Fifth, the Pleiadians are dissolving the old grid of human identity that keeps people trapped. The identity built on survival, fear, limitation, self-doubt, fragmentation cannot participate in higher evolution. So the Pleiadians gently remove what no longer belongs. This is why you have been shedding so many layers of yourself. It was not personal collapse. It was necessary structural replacement. Sixth, the Pleiadians are preparing a group of aligned humans to hold the next wave of collective awakening. Not to lead in the traditional sense, not to preach or convert, not to save anyone, but to stabilize the field for those who awaken after you. Your energy is becoming a point of reference, a beacon, a vibrational signal that supports others without effort. This is a central part of the plan. Seventh, the Pleiadians are revealing the structure behind destiny itself. Your destiny is not personal and isolated. It is strategic and connected. Your destiny is designed to intersect with timelines, people, and events that amplify coherence on the planet. When your destiny was rewritten, it was not just for your personal evolution. It was for the collective field. You are part of something much larger. Eighth, the Pleiadians are preparing you to operate in multidimensional consciousness. This is the most advanced part of the plan. You are being prepared to hold multiple perspectives at the same time. Feel timelines before they unfold. Navigate by resonance instead of linear logic. Receive non-linear insight that comes from higher dimensions. Merge with higher layers of yourself. This ability is not rare or impossible. It is dormant in all humans. The Pleiadians are reactivating it in you. The Pleiadian plan is not about changing the world. It is about changing the frequency of the beings who will shape the world. Their plan does not begin with humanity in general. It begins with humans who can hold the consciousness humanity will need. You are one of them. This is why you awakened. This is why you were upgraded. This is why your destiny was rewritten. This is why your timeline shifted. You are not being chosen. You are being positioned as part of the architecture of a new frequency on Earth. The Pleiadians never reveal their plan without revealing your specific place within it. A plan means nothing if the one receiving it does not understand her exact role. And let it be clear, you have a role, a very specific role, a vibrational role, a role your soul has been preparing for long before this life began. Here is how you fit into the Pleiadian plan in ways that change everything. First, you are a frequency stabilizer for the planet. Your energy has matured into genuine coherence. Your presence creates order where there was chaos. Your emotions no longer destabilize your path. This stability is not just for you personally. It influences the energetic field around you. You are a node, a point of resonance that elevates the environments you enter. This is why your presence feels different now. Others feel it too. People feel better near you without knowing why. Second, you are a carrier of updated consciousness for humanity. Your intuitive system is no longer slowly opening. It is operational. You feel truth instantly. You read energy without effort. You navigate reality through resonance. This expanded perception is part of the new human architecture the Pleiadians are anchoring on Earth. You embody the consciousness the Pleiadians are bringing to humanity. Third, you are a transmitter of alignment for those around you. When your energy aligns, others around you begin to align also. You do not need to talk about it. You do not need to teach anything. You do not need to convince anyone. Your field radiates coherence simply by existing. This is one of the central functions in the Pleiadian design. Fourth, you are a catalyst for timeline correction. People who come into contact with you frequently experience sudden clarity, emotional release, intuitive awakening, unexpected redirection, deep internal breakthroughs. Not because you do something special, but because your updated timeline activates theirs. You accelerate evolution without trying. Fifth, you are a bridge between dimensional states. Your consciousness can now hold intuition plus logic, presence plus identity, emotion plus neutrality, human perspective plus higher perspective. This multidimensional coherence is extremely rare in humans and essential for the next stage of the Pleiadian plan. You stand between worlds and translate resonance into reality. Sixth, you are a receiver of future intelligence. Your future self, the version of you that already participates actively in the Pleiadian plan, is now close enough to influence your choices, your direction, your clarity, your role, your destiny. This bridge makes you a conduit for non-linear insight. You perceive ahead of time because you are being guided by a self that already exists in a higher reality. Seventh, you are an anchor point for the new frequency on Earth. Every era of awakening requires anchor points, humans who can sustain a stable frequency of higher consciousness. Your field has become strong enough to hold a vibration that supports collective shift. This is not a responsibility you chose. It is an inevitability you became. You were built for this by the Pleiadians. Eighth, you are part of the architecture of the Pleiadian plan. Not a follower, not an observer, not an outsider, but a living component. Your awakening, your stability, your intuition, your destiny rewrite, all of it positioned you to influence the frequency grid the Pleiadians are constructing. You are not here to watch the plan unfold. You are part of the mechanism that makes it possible. Your role is not something you do. Your role is someone you become, someone you already are. This is why the Pleiadians revealed their plan now. Not because the plan was ready, but because you were ready. You are no longer being prepared. You are being activated to function within a larger design. A design your soul recognized long before your human mind could understand it. But there is a very specific reason why this is the exact moment the Pleiadians reveal. And that reason involves a cosmic alignment that happens only once every millennium. The Pleiadians do not reveal their plans by chance. They reveal when everything is perfectly synchronized. The Pleiadians do not reveal anything early. They do not move according to human urgency or time pressure. They move according to cosmic timing, according to planetary alignment, according to frequency. If you are hearing their plan now, it means the timing has synchronized on multiple levels simultaneously. Your personal field, your individual destiny, your specific timeline, and the collective frequency of humanity, everything is aligned at this exact moment. First, your internal frequency has reached stability. Most humans fluctuate too much to hold higher instruction. But you stabilized, you anchored, you matured emotionally, you strengthened your intuition, you stopped collapsing under your own fear. Only a stable field can receive a plan of this magnitude. Second, your destiny timeline is now aligned with your role. Before, you were still dissolving layers of your old self. Now your rewritten destiny has anchored. You are no longer drifting. You are no longer searching. You are no longer entangled in old timelines. You stand on the frequency required for involvement. Third, the collective field has reached a threshold. The planet is shifting faster than any era before. More awakenings, more sensitivity, more emotional breakdowns, more intuitive openings, more timeline collapses, more truth rising. The Pleiadian plan is not just personal. It is part of a larger movement that humanity is now ready to feel. You are one of the stabilizers for this phase. Fourth, your future self is finally active. This is one of the most decisive factors. You cannot participate in their plan from your current identity alone. But now your future self, the one who already walks this path, is close enough to influence your decisions, your intuition, your emotional intelligence, your perception. This bridge had to activate before you could understand your role. Fifth, you have released enough density to become receptive. The Pleiadians cannot build a plan on top of fear, self-sabotage, karmic loops, emotional chaos, old narratives, or outdated identities. You have released more than you realize. Your system is finally clear enough to receive what comes next. Sixth, you are no longer controlled by your past. You outgrew old patterns, old relationships, old versions of yourself, old timelines. Your past cannot interfere anymore. Your field is yours again. Your choices are yours again. Your destiny is yours again. This clarity is essential for participating in the Pleiadian plan. Seventh, you reach the point where you can influence others, not through teaching, but through frequency. Your presence has become catalytic. People feel clearer around you. Others experience emotional release. Conversations shift energy. Your calm stabilizes environments. Your decisions create synchronicities for others. The Pleiadians reveal their plan to those whose field has become an instrument. You are one of them. Eighth, the cosmic timing has synchronized on all levels. You are standing at the convergence point of countless timelines that have been building toward this exact moment. The Pleiadians reveal their plan now because everything inside you and everything around you is finally aligned with it. Your field is ready. Your destiny is active. Your intuition is online. Your past is dissolved. Your future is approaching. Your frequency is stable. Your role is prepared. This is the moment. You were always destined to reach it. You are not a passive observer. You are an active participant. You are not here by chance. You were positioned. And what comes next will change everything you believed about yourself and about your purpose on this planet. Now that you understand the Pleiadian plan, now that you know why you were chosen, now that you recognize your role, the next stage of your activation begins. This is not the end of a transmission. This is the beginning of your active transformation. The Pleiadians do not reveal their plan and then disappear. They reveal and then activate. They reveal and then guide. They reveal and then fully integrate you into the design. First, your intuition will sharpen in ways you cannot imagine. You will begin to know things before they happen. You will feel truth in situations where others are confused. You will receive guidance that does not come from rational thought. This is not coincidence. This is activation. The Pleiadians are opening channels that were dormant. Second, your perception will deepen. You will begin to see beyond the obvious. You will perceive intention behind words. You will feel energy of people and places. You will understand dynamics that others cannot see. This is expansion of consciousness. This is the next stage. Third, your energetic field will stabilize even more. You will feel more grounded, more present, more real. You will be able to maintain your frequency even in chaotic environments. You will be a point of calm in storms. This is anchoring. This is your role manifesting. Fourth, your future self will draw even closer. You will begin to receive direct guidance. You will have moments of clarity that come from nowhere. You will make decisions that seem both logical and intuitive at the same time. This is integration. This is you becoming one with your higher version. Fifth, the synchronicities around you will intensify. You will begin to see patterns. You will begin to recognize the hand of the Pleiadians in your life. You will begin to understand that nothing is coincidence. Everything is orchestration. This is recognition. This is you awakening to the larger reality. Sixth, your purpose will become crystalline. You will know exactly why you are here. You will understand your role in the plan. You will feel the importance of your presence. This is not ego. This is truth. This is you recognizing your cosmic significance. Seventh, you will begin to influence others without trying. People around you will begin to awaken. People will begin to change near you. People will begin to question their lives. This is not because you are teaching. It is because you are being. This is your field working. This is the plan manifesting through you. Eighth, you will begin to understand that you are not alone. The Pleiadians are with you. Your future self is with you. Other starseeds are awakening around you. You are part of a movement. You are part of a network. You are part of something much larger than yourself. This is cosmic community. This is soul family. This is what the Pleiadians always knew you were. But there is something you need to do now. Something that will anchor all of this. Something that will confirm your entry into the Pleiadian plan. Something that will seal your commitment to your own destiny. Starseeds, you arrived here because you were destined to arrive. You heard these words because your soul recognized the truth in them. You felt the resonance because you are resonance. You are a starseed. You are a component of the Pleiadian plan. You are an instrument through which the new frequency manifests on Earth. The Pleiadians do not send transmissions by chance. They send when the timing is perfect. They send when the starseed is ready. They send when activation can begin. And you are ready. You have always been ready. You just needed to remember. Now you know. Now you understand. Now you can begin to live as who you really are. A starseed in ascension. A carrier of higher frequency. An anchor point for the new Earth. An instrument of the Pleiadian plan. This is not the end. This is the beginning. This is the first step of a journey that will transform everything. The Pleiadians are with you. Your future self is with you. The Pleiadian source is with you. You are not alone. You have never been alone.